Several people have been asking this question on the Facebook group, and so I'm super happy to get into the details of this. I think there are a ton of myths out there about how soon after your marriage can you actually file a marriage-based case? And it's a great question. You don't want to do anything too early and hurt yourself in the process. The general rule is that there is no specific waiting period time. We have a lot of clients who, they get married, and the day that they were pre-preparing their case even before the marriage happens, knowing that they're planning to get married. And then as soon as they get their marriage certificate, we just stick it in the application and send it out because that's all we were waiting for. So you can file the day you get married, legally. The real question is, when people are asking this, is do you have enough evidence to prove that you are eligible for what you're filing for? So it's one thing for it to be legally possible for you to try to file that, and it's another thing to have enough stuff to be able to win your case. So I think a lot of the confusion about this question, or the rumors and the myths that people hear about, well, you have to wait a certain number of months or years before you can file after marriage, maybe because they've gotten advice from an immigration lawyer that says you should hold off on filing. I only advise people to do that when their current situation looks very suspicious for whatever reason. Sometimes if you have a very short relationship, or you just really don't have much on paper yet, it can be difficult to have enough evidence to show that your relationship is legitimate and not just trying to evade immigration laws. So if there's something in there are a lot of different varieties of what can look suspicious based on, what immigration is looking at. But if based on your history, there's some question, or it looks like you will probably be subject to additional scrutiny by immigration, then sometimes we do advise people to hold off. And then as they're naturally joining their lives together more, they are able to, better prove that, so that we know that they have a very good chance of success at that point. So that would really be the only time when we would recommend that people hold off, would be as if they don't have enough evidence to prove that they really qualify. Another example of a situation where that sometimes comes up is if a couple is living apart. Sometimes we have enough, there are good reasons that can happen. And so, sometimes you're graduating from your PhDs and one of you's found a job, and then the other one needs a highly specific job in the same area and you haven't quite gotten one there yet. Sometimes we can still show that your relationship is legitimate, but it definitely makes it more difficult. So some couples who are temporarily living apart may also choose to kind of get their ducks in a row and get, residing together, kind of get things settled down before they file. But that's a very individual decision. So that's the real truth about that myth. So don't fall for the myth, but also don't jump ahead with the filing if you're not sure you have the right evidence. And that's something we could help you with if needed.